Don't waste your life, Impotid your life. There is something tragic not about death, but about living without ever truly being alive. There are people breathing but not living, walking but not moving forward, dreaming but never daring. You were not born by accident. You were not a random collision of moments, nor a mistake that slipped through the cracks of destiny. Before you ever opened your eyes to this world, there was breath waiting for you. Before you ever cried your first cry, there was purpose wrapped around your existence. And yet, how many times have you questioned your worth? How many nights have you laid awake wondering if you matter? Wondering if your life carries any real significance? The world can be cruel. It can make you feel small, invisible, replaceable, but the very fact that you are here, alive, breathing, thinking, feeling, is evidence that your life holds weight. Look at your fingerprint. No one else has it, not in the past, not now, not ever again. That alone is a whisper from eternity that says, you are distinct, you are intentional. You have a heartbeat that has never beaten before in the exact rhythm it beats now. You have thoughts no one else will ever think in the exact way you think them. You have a voice that carries a tone no one else can replicate. That is not randomness, that is design. But here is where the battle begins. Somewhere along the way, someone may have told you that you were not enough. Maybe they said you were too slow, too different, too weak, too emotional, too broken. And slowly, quietly, those words began to sink in. They began to rewrite your identity, and you started believing that maybe you were just ordinary. But ordinary does not carry this much depth. Ordinary does not survive storms that you have survived. Ordinary does not rise after heartbreak. Ordinary does not fight silent battles and still get up the next morning. You are here because there is something only you can do, a life only you can touch, a difference only you can make. If you quit, something in this world will remain undone. If you shrink back, something meant to shine will remain in darkness. Think about that, the kindness you almost gave but didn't, the dream you almost pursued but postponed, the idea you almost shared but silenced. Those are not small things. Those are seeds, and seeds carry forests inside them. Your life is a seed, and seeds are not meant to stay buried forever. They are buried so they can break open, so they can rise. Maybe you feel buried right now, buried under doubt, under failure, under disappointment. But burial is not the end of a seed. It is the beginning of growth. You were not created to merely take up space. You were created to transform it. Your presence changes rooms. Your absence is felt when you are gone. That means something. Don't let pain convince you that you are purposeless. Don't let comparison steal your calling. You are not here to be someone else. You are here to be fully, powerfully, unapologetically you. And the moment you truly believe that your life is not an accident, everything changes. Because when you understand that you were born on purpose, you stop living by accident, and that is where your real life begins. Time is the one thing you spend, whether you want to or not. Every second it slips quietly, without announcement. Without apology, you can waste money and earn it back. You can lose opportunities and find new ones. You can even rebuild relationships, but time, once it leaves your hands, it never returns, and that is what makes it sacred. We live as if we have an endless supply. We say tomorrow. We say one day. We say, I'll start later. But later is the most dangerous word in the human language. Later has buried more dreams than failure ever did. There are songs still unsung because someone said later. There are books never written because someone said later. There are apologies never spoken because someone said later. And then one day later becomes never. Time is not just minutes and hours. It is life itself. It is the currency of your existence. Every morning when you wake up, you are handed 24 brand new hours. You didn't earn them. You can't store them. You can't transfer them. And by midnight, whatever you didn't use is gone forever. That should move you. That should awaken something inside you. Because the clock is ticking, whether you are building or procrastinating, whether you are loving or resenting, whether you are growing or shrinking. Think about how many hours have been swallowed by scrolling, by comparing, by replaying old wounds in your mind. Think about how much time has been sacrificed to fear. Fear of trying, fear of failing, fear of being seen. And then think about how short life truly is. We assume we have decades, but none of us are promised tomorrow. The future is an assumption. The present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Some people reach the end of their lives not with broken bodies, but with broken regrets. Not because they failed, but because they never tried. They allowed comfort to rob them. They allowed distraction to sedate them. They allowed time to leak away unnoticed. Do not let that be your story. Time is sacred because it carries your purpose within it. Each day is an opportunity wrapped in flesh and breath. Every hour is a chance to forgive, to begin again, to take one small, courageous step forward. You don't have to change your whole life in one day, but you must respect the day you have. Spend your time on what matters, on people who matter, on growth that matters, on healing that matters. Stop giving your hours to things that drain your soul and give nothing back. Stop handing your life to habits that shrink you. Guard your time like treasure, because it is. When you understand that time is sacred, you stop living carelessly. You speak more intentionally. You love more deeply. You hesitate less. You act more boldly. You realize that this very moment, right now, is alive. And it will never exist again in the same way. Don't let it pass unnoticed, because one day the clock will tick for the last time. And when that day comes, may you not say, I had more time. May you say, I used what I was given. That is how you honor the sacredness of time. Negative feelings are powerful. They don't knock politely. They crash in. They flood your thoughts at midnight. They sit heavy on your chest in the morning. They whisper lies so often that those lies begin to sound like truth. But hear this with all your heart. What you feel is real, but it is not who you are. Sadness can visit you. Anxiety can grip you. Fear can shake you. But they are visitors. They are not your name. They are not your identity. They are not your destiny. Yet how easily we confuse the two. You feel depressed, and suddenly you say, I am broken. You feel rejected, and you say, I am unwanted. You fail once, and you say, I am a failure. Feelings become labels. Labels become beliefs. Beliefs become prisons. And before you know it, you are living inside a story written by your lowest moment. But emotions are waves. They rise, they fall, they crash, they retreat. No wave stays forever, and neither does any feeling. Even the darkest night eventually gives way to morning. Even the heaviest storm eventually runs out of rain. The danger is not in feeling negative emotions. The danger is in building your identity around them. You are not your worst thought. You are not your hardest season. You are not the voice in your head that tells you to give up. You are deeper than your emotions. There is a core inside you that remains steady even when everything else trembles. A place within you that still hopes even when you feel hopeless. A spark that refuses to die even when you feel exhausted. Negative feelings often grow louder in silence. They echo when you isolate yourself. They expand when you rehearse them over and over again. And the more you replay the pain, the more it convinces you that it defines you. But what if you began to separate yourself from the feeling? Instead of saying, "I am anxious," you say, "I am experiencing anxiety." Instead of "I am worthless," you say, "I am feeling inadequate right now." That small shift changes everything, because now the emotion is something passing through you, not something owning you. There is strength in acknowledging pain without surrendering your identity to it. Crying does not make you weak. Struggling does not make you broken. Feeling overwhelmed does not make you incapable. It makes you human, but you must refuse to let temporary emotions create permanent conclusions about your life. Sometimes your mind will tell you stories that are not true. It will magnify your flaws and minimize your strengths. It will replay your mistakes but ignore your victories. And if you are not careful, you will start believing that distorted version of yourself. Challenge it, speak truth back to it. Remind yourself of the battles you've survived. Remind yourself of the growth you've made. Remind yourself that feelings change, but your worth does not. You are still valuable on the days you feel empty. You are still strong on the days you feel weak. You are still worthy on the days you feel forgotten. Do not let a passing storm rename you, because you are more than what you feel, and the moment you realize that the storm begins to lose its power. There is a battle that no one sees, no bruises, no blood, no headlines, but it is fierce. It happens in the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts. When the noise of the world fades and the noise inside your head grows louder, that is where the real war begins. The inner enemy does not shout at first. It whispers, "You're not good enough. They're better than you. You always mess things up. Why even try?" And if you don't confront it, that whisper becomes a voice. That voice becomes a narrative, and that narrative becomes your reality. The most dangerous enemy you will ever face is not outside of you. It is the one within you that convinces you to doubt yourself, sabotage yourself, and shrink yourself. It reminds you of every mistake you've made. It replays every embarrassing moment. It magnifies every flaw. It keeps a record of your failures, but conveniently forgets your victories. And the tragedy is this: you begin to believe it. You begin to agree with the very voice that is trying to destroy your confidence. You start speaking to yourself in ways you would never speak to anyone else. You become your own harshest critic, your own discourager, your own limitation. But you must understand something powerful. Just because a thought enters your mind does not mean it deserves to stay. You have authority over what you entertain. The inner enemy thrives on passivity. It grows stronger when you accept every negative thought as truth. But the moment you challenge it, the moment you speak back, it begins to weaken. When it says, "You can't," you answer, "Watch me." When it says, "You'll fail again," you answer, "Failure is not final." When it says, "You're alone," you answer, "I am not abandoned." Silencing the inner enemy is not about pretending it doesn't exist. It's about refusing to let it lead. Your mind is powerful. It can build you or break you. And the words you repeat internally become the foundation of your life. If you constantly tell yourself you are incapable, you will hesitate. If you constantly tell yourself you are unworthy, you will settle. If you constantly tell yourself you are weak, you will never test your strength. But when you begin to speak life over yourself, even when you don't fully feel it, something shifts. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to move forward despite it. There will be days when the inner enemy feels louder than your hope. Days when self-doubt feels heavier than belief. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days you must stand firm. You are not required to be perfect. You are required to be persistent. The voice inside you that says, "Keep going," is your true ally. Feed that voice, strengthen that voice. Repeat words that build, not destroy. Because if you don't silence the inner enemy, it will narrate a life that was never meant to be yours. And you were not created to live defeated by your own thoughts. You were created to rise above them. Regret is a heavy thing. It does not shout like fear. It does not rush in like anger. It lingers. It sits quietly in the corners of your memory. It waits for silent moments, and then it speaks. If only, if I had just, why didn't I? And suddenly you are no longer in the present. You are standing in yesterday, replaying scenes that cannot be edited. We all have ashes. Ashes of opportunities we didn't take. Ashes of words we said that we wish we could take back. Ashes of relationships that slipped through our fingers. Ashes of choices that burned bridges we once walked across. Regret can make you feel like everything is over. Like the fire consumed not just the moment, but your entire future. But ashes tell a different story. Ashes are proof that something once burned. They are evidence of passion, of risk, of action. And here is the truth most people miss. From ashes, new life can rise. You are not the only one who has failed. You are not the only one who has fallen short. You are not the only one who looks back and wishes you had known then what you know now. The past feels powerful because it already happened. It feels permanent, but it does not have the authority to control what you do next. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you trusted the wrong people. Yes, you may have wasted time, hurt someone, hurt yourself. But your past is a chapter, not the whole book. The danger of regret is not that it reminds you of what went wrong. The danger is when it convinces you that you cannot move forward. Some people live trapped in a moment that ended years ago. They relive it so often that it becomes their identity. They stop trying because they are afraid of repeating it. They stop dreaming because they believe they disqualified themselves. But growth is born in failure. Wisdom is born in mistakes. Strength is born in surviving what you thought would destroy you. The fire that reduced your plans to ashes did not reduce you to nothing. You are still here, still breathing, still capable of beginning again. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can redeem it by how you live today. Let regret teach you, but do not let it chain you. Forgive yourself. That may be the hardest step, harder than forgiving anyone else. But you cannot rise while you are still punishing yourself for who you used to be. You are not that person anymore. You have learned, you have grown, you see differently now, and that means something. From the ashes of embarrassment can rise humility. From the ashes of failure can rise resilience. From the ashes of heartbreak can rise compassion. The very thing you are ashamed of may one day become the story that helps someone else survive. Do not sit in the ashes and call it the end. Stand up, brush off the dust, and let what once burned you become the ground from which you rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. There is a difference between existing and living. Existing is waking up, going through routines, checking boxes, surviving the day, and going back to sleep. It is breathing without intention, moving without direction, speaking without conviction. Living is different. Living is waking up with fire in your chest. It is knowing that your actions matter, that your words carry weight, that your presence is not random, it is purposeful. To ignite your life with purpose, you must first decide that comfort is not enough. Comfort will keep you safe, but it will not make you fulfilled. Comfort will protect you from failure, but it will also protect you from greatness. Many people waste their lives not because they are incapable, but because they are too comfortable. Purpose requires courage. It requires you to step into rooms where you feel unqualified. It requires you to try again after you've been disappointed. It requires you to believe in something bigger than your fear. Purpose is not always loud. Sometimes it begins as a quiet tug on your heart. A dream you can't shake, a burden you feel when you see injustice, a desire to create, to help, to build, to lead, to heal. That tug is not random, but purpose does not ignite itself. You must act on it. You cannot wait until you feel ready. You cannot wait until you feel confident. You cannot wait until every doubt disappears. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait your entire life. Igniting your life means taking one step, even while your hands are shaking. It means choosing discipline over distraction, growth over gossip, vision over excuses. It means asking yourself hard questions. What am I doing with the gifts I've been given? Who is better because I am alive? If I continue living the way I am now, where will I be in 5 years? Those questions may unsettle you. Good. Sometimes you need to be unsettled to be awakened. Purpose gives meaning to pain. When you know why you are doing something, you can endure what it costs. Late nights, rejection, slow progress, criticism, all of it becomes fuel instead of chains. And understand this, purpose is not about fame. It is not about applause. It is not about proving people wrong. It is about alignment. It is about waking up knowing that your life is moving in the direction it was meant to move. There is something in you that the world needs, a kindness only you can offer, a perspective only you can share, a strength that was built through your unique struggles. If you bury it, the world loses something irreplaceable. Ignite your life, feed your mind with truth. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Take care of your body so your spirit has strength to carry its calling. Set goals that stretch you. Pray, reflect, act. Stop shrinking to fit into places you have outgrown. Stop silencing dreams that keep knocking. You were not given this life to drift through it. You were given this life to set it on fire with meaning. And when you live with purpose, even ordinary days feel extraordinary because they are connected to something eternal. Do not let your flame die unnoticed. Ignite it, protect it, and let it shine until your last breath.